T.I. might have thought his son was just living the life of a rising star. But what's unfolding behind the scenes is something far more dangerous than anyone expected. Fans are shocked, whispers are spreading fast, and emotions are already running high as King Haristi's eyes outspoken and unpredictable son finds himself tangled up in a hood drama that could spiral out of control at any moment. This isn't just about flashy cars, late-night parties, or chasing clout on social media. This is about survival, respect, and the streets that don't play fair. Picture this, a young man, desperate to prove he's more than just his father's shadow, steps into the wrong territory, mouthing off, flashing his lifestyle, and making enemies he never saw coming. Suddenly, the glamorous world of fame collides with the gritty reality of street politics. And now, insiders say T.I. is terrified, genuinely scared for his son's life. This isn't the type of drama that ends with an Instagram apology. This is the type of story that divides families, shocks fans, and leaves people wondering how far it will really go. So buckle up, because this story isn't just another celebrity headline. It's a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. It all started like any other night in Atlanta, but the streets were buzzing louder than usual. Whispers about King Harris, T.I.'s son, were making the rounds, and not in a good way. People said he was trying too hard to prove himself, stepping into circles that even seasoned hustlers avoided. Instead of being known as the son of a rap legend, he wanted to be feared, respected, and treated like he was cut from the same cloth as the guys running the blocks. The problem? He wasn't. And the streets had a way of reminding anyone who forgot the rules. According to insiders, it all began when King showed up to a neighborhood gathering, flaunting his expensive chain and designer fits. One bystander claimed he laughed a little too loud, made a few jokes that rubbed some guys the wrong way, and threw out a line about being untouchable. In his mind, it was harmless bravado, but in theirs, it was a declaration of war. One of the locals reportedly muttered, "He think just because his daddy famous, he can talk like that here." Those words set the tone for what was about to unfold. When King left that night, people were already plotting. One source swears a group of guys followed him just to see where he was headed. Nothing happened at first, but word began to spread online, on lives and stories. That King had stepped into territory he had no business in, and that's when the tension really started. Friends close to the family say T.I. was furious when he heard, "Boy, what is you doing?" He allegedly told his son, "You playing with fire out there, and I can't protect you from everything." About King, stubborn as ever, snapped back, "I ain't scared of nobody. I ain't living in your shadow forever, Pops." Those words reportedly cut deep, because they weren't just about the hood, they were about a son desperate to carve out his own name, even if it meant putting himself in danger. As days went by, the situation grew uglier. Someone posted a video of King in that same neighborhood, arguing with a group of young men. In the clip, you could hear voices shouting, "Take that chain off," and "You don't belong here." King, instead of backing down, doubled down. He pulled out his phone, started recording, and shouted back, "Y'all just mad 'cause I'm out here shining? Ain't nobody taking nothing from me?" The video went viral within hours. Fans were shocked. Some applauded his courage, others begged him to stop before it was too late. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, the Harris household was in chaos. Tiny King's mother was reportedly in tears, pleading with T.I. to step in and calm things down. "This boy don't understand what he's walking into," she said through sobs, according to a family friend. "These ain't rap beefs. These are real people in the streets." But T.I., though worried, was conflicted. On one hand, he knew his son needed to learn hard lessons. On the other, he feared this particular lesson might cost more than King was ready to pay. Things escalated when rumors spread that someone had put a price on King's chain. People whispered about a bet that whoever snatched it would earn respect on the streets. Suddenly, King wasn't just a kid showing off. He was a target. Fans on social media exploded with theories. Some claimed King was setting himself up for a staged fight to gain clout, while others argued it was real. and that his life was genuinely at risk. The tension boiled over one night outside a popular Atlanta club. Eyewitnesses say King rolled up with his crew, loud music blasting, making sure everyone noticed him. But within minutes, a group of guys from that same hood approached. Voices rose, cameras came out, and the crowd swelled. One man shouted, "You ain't safe out here, lil' boy." King fired back, "Then do something." And for a split second, it looked like fists or worse would fly. Security rushed in, breaking things up. But not before enough footage leaked online to keep the drama alive for days. The backlash was immediate. Fans were divided. Some called King fearless, saying he was proving himself as more than just a celebrity kid. Others slammed him for being reckless, accusing him of dragging his family name through the mud. One comment that went viral read, "T.I. built a legacy, and his son is about to ruin it all in one night." Inside the Harris household, arguments grew heated. T.I. reportedly cornered his son after the club incident. "You think this is a game?" he barked. "These people don't care who you are. They'll drag you into the dirt if it means a name for themselves." King defiant responded, "I ain't scared of no dirt. I'm from here too. I got just as much right to walk these streets as anybody else." Tiny tried to intervene, begging both father and son to calm down. "This is tearing us apart," she cried. "Y'all fighting each other instead of fixing the real problem?" But neither man was ready to back down. The room filled with tension so thick. One family friend said it felt like the walls were closing in. As if things weren't bad enough, another twist shook everyone. A close associate of King's posted a cryptic story on Instagram, showing a car with bullet holes and a caption that read, "Warning shots only. Next time, no misses." While no one confirmed if the car belonged to King's crew, the implication was clear things were spiraling out of control. Fans panicked, posting prayers and begging King to lay low. Others speculated it was all staged for attention. But those who knew the streets swore it was no joke. T.I., now more worried than ever, reportedly reached out to community leaders and even some old rivals trying to cool the situation down. "This ain't about pride no more," he allegedly said. "This is about keeping my boy alive." But whether his efforts would work or whether King's defiance would undo everything remained to be seen. At this point, the drama wasn't just a private family issue. It was public entertainment, and everyone was watching. King's every move was dissected, every post analyzed, every word twisted into another headline. Fans were shocked, friends were scared, and the Harris family was left divided, torn between protecting King and letting him learn the consequences of his actions. And then came the night that changed everything. The night that changed everything started off deceptively calm. King had been quiet on social media for a few days, something his fans noticed instantly. Some thought maybe T.I. had finally gotten through to him. Others speculated he was planning his next big move, the truth. King was plotting a way to reclaim the narrative, to show everyone he wasn't hiding, and that he couldn't be silenced by threats. That Friday evening, King decided to hit up a neighborhood gathering, the same area where the first sparks of trouble had ignited. People warned him not to go, but King brushed it off, telling his boys, "If I don't show my face, they gon' think I'm scared, and I ain't never scared." When he pulled up, the tension was already in the air. Eyes followed him as he stepped out, chains gleaming, music blaring from his car. One eyewitness said the energy shifted instantly. It was like everybody stopped what they was doing, just waiting to see what would happen. King, instead of laying low, started dapping people up, cracking jokes, acting like nothing was wrong. But the silence around him was deafening. Then it happened. A group of young men approached, the same ones he had clashed with before. Phones came out immediately. Everyone wanted to catch the moment live. One of them shouted, "You back here again? Didn't we tell you not to come around?" King smirked and replied, "And I told y'all I'd go where I want. This my city too." The crowd erupted with gasps, some cheering, others warning him to chill. Suddenly, the confrontation escalated. One of the men lunged forward, reaching for King's chain. King shoved him back, yelling, "You're not touching nothing that's mine." Chaos broke out, bodies, pushing and shoving, voices overlapping. Someone screamed, "Get the cameras on this." And just like that, the scuffle was broadcast live across social media. Back at the Harris home, Tiny reportedly broke down when she saw clips flooding her phone. "Oh my God, that's my baby," she cried, while T.I. paced the room, fury written all over his face. "He don't listen," T.I. muttered, slamming his fist into the table. "He don't listen until it's too late." The scuffle didn't last long, thanks to older heads in the crowd who pulled the groups apart. But by then, the damage was done. King's chain was still around his neck, but his pride took a hit. Online, people debated whether he won the encounter or just dug himself deeper into trouble. One viral comment read, "He survived tonight, but the street's gone, come back harder." Later that night, another twist sent shockwaves through fans. A live video surfaced showing King in a car with his crew, laughing and mocking the guys who confronted him. "They tried, but they ain't built for it," he said, flashing his chain at the camera. But in the background, a friend's nervous voice could be heard. "Bro, you need to chill. You don't know who watching." Those words proved prophetic, because only hours later, mysterious message popped up on social media from an account tied to the rival group. "Game not over. Stay tuned." Fans went wild, interpreting it as a direct threat. Emotions ran high, with people begging King to step back. Others egged him on, saying he was finally earning respect. The fallout at home was brutal. T.I. reportedly sat his son down for a heated conversation. "You think this is making you a man? You think putting yourself in danger makes you respected? All you doing is painting a target on your back." King, still defiant, shot back. "Maybe I want to be more than your son. Maybe I want to be feared on my own." Tiny tried once again to intervene, her voice breaking. "Baby, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody. You've got a family, you've got fans, you've got a future. Don't throw it all away for some street drama." But King shook his head. "Y'all don't get it? People think I'm soft because I grew up rich. I'm just showing them I ain't no different." Behind the scenes, fans speculated about who was really pulling the strings. Some thought King's rivals were baiting him for clout, while others believed there were deeper, tease-old grudges from T.I.'s past bleeding into his son's life. One rumor claimed an old enemy of T.I. was egging the younger crowd on, using King as a pawn in a bigger game. Whatever the truth was, it reached a breaking point when King got an unexpected call. Insiders say a respected OG from the neighborhood reached out, warning him that things had gone too far. "Little man, you playing with fire," the OG reportedly said. "The streets don't care who your daddy is. Next time, they might not miss." King, though shaken, tried to play it cool, saying, "I hear you, but I'm good." But his voice, according to the source, betrayed a flicker of doubt. The family, meanwhile, grew more divided. T.I. allegedly told his team he was ready to pull King out of Atlanta for his own safety. Maybe send him away for a while until things cooled down. Tiny supported the idea, but King refused. "If I leave, that means they win," he told his parents, "and I ain't giving them that satisfaction." This tug-of-war between safety and pride kept the household on edge. Fans noticed King's posts became more cryptic, filled with phrases like, "Can't stop me," and "built for this." Each new post stirred fresh debates online, with people either cheering him on or pleading for him to stop. Then came another shocking moment. One night, as King and his friends were hanging out near a recording studio, shots rang out in the distance. Nobody was hurt, but the message was clear. Video of the aftermath showed King looking visibly shaken, though he still tried to mask it with bravado. "They missed," he said on live, forcing a grin. But fans weren't convinced. "He looked scared." One comment read, "He finally realizing this ain't a game." That night, T.I. reportedly lost it. He confronted his son with raw anger and fear. "I can't bury my child. I won't. You hear me? I won't." His voice cracked. the weight of a father's fear breaking through his tough exterior. King, caught between pride and fear, stayed silent. His usual cocky demeanor replaced by uncertainty. Tiny, holding back tears, whispered, "Please, baby, choose life over pride." But the question lingered in the air. Would King finally listen? Or was he too deep in a game he didn't fully understand? And just when it seemed like the family had reached their breaking point, another twist surfaced that left fans speechless. The shocking twist came in the form of a leaked video, one that no one expected to see. Overnight, clips began circulating online showing King in what looked like a heated argument with someone much older. A man tied to the same hood crew that had been on his case. The video had no sound at first, but subtitles added by whoever uploaded it told the story. King owes respect. Or else the comment section went wild. Some fans believed the footage was edited to stir up drama, while others swore it was real. Either way, it painted a dangerous picture. King wasn't just dealing with guys his age anymore. He was clashing with people who had serious influence in the streets. When T.I. saw the video, he reportedly exploded. "Now you've done brought the whole damn city into this?" he shouted during another late-night confrontation at home. "This ain't about you no more, son. This is about me, about our name, about everything I built. You trying to destroy it all because you can't keep your pride in check?" King, pacing the floor, shot back, "You don't know what it feels like to be in my shoes. Everyone thinks I'm just riding your wave. I gotta make my own mark." Tiny broke down again, sobbing into her hands as the argument escalated. "Y'all gonna kill each other before the streets even get the chance," she cried. The tension between father and son was no longer just about survival, it was about legacy, identity, and a growing divide that threatened to tear the family apart. Meanwhile, fans online were in a frenzy. Hashtags trended with people split down the middle. One group defended King, saying he was just trying to prove himself in a world that constantly belittled celebrity kids. The other side called him reckless, selfish, and blind to the danger he was creating not only for himself but for everyone around him. He's putting a target on his whole family. One viral comment read, "Things grew darker when a voice memo leaked allegedly from someone close to the rival crew. The muffled recording hinted at an ambush being planned. We gonna catch him slipping, chain or no chain," the voice said. While some dismissed it as fake, others were convinced it was genuine. The fear was real, and so were the emotions flooding social media. Fans posted prayers, influencers weighed in, and Atlanta's hip-hop scene started, buzzing with whispers that something catastrophic was about to go down. T.I. decided he had to act. Sources say he reached out to community leaders, even old enemies, trying to call a truce. "This ain't about rap beef or respect," he told one of them. "This about my son making it home alive." But while T.I. was working behind the scenes, King was doing the opposite. He went live once again, mocking the threats. "They keep talking, but ain't nobody touching me," he bragged, flashing his chain on camera. "I'm still standing." The live stream set off another wave of reactions. "He just signed his own death warrant," one fan tweeted. "He's begging to be targeted," another posted. Emotions ran high as people debated whether King was being fearless or foolish. The family's inner circle also grew restless. Some of King's friends, worried about being caught in the crossfire, started pulling away. One of them reportedly told him, "Bro, I got love for you, but I ain't trying to die for your pride." King, furious, accused him of being fake. "You was with me when it was fun. Now when it get real, you folding?" The friendship dissolved that night, adding yet another layer of betrayal to King's spiraling life. And then came the moment that shook everything. One evening, King was driving with a smaller crew, trying to keep a lower profile, when a car suddenly pulled up beside them. Shots rang out. No one was hit, but the car swerved, tires screeching as chaos erupted. Terrified voices filled the car, captured in a panicked Snapchat clip that later leaked online. Fans who saw it said King's face told the truth for the first time. He looked genuinely scared, Back home, the incident tore open every wound in the Harris household. Tiny collapsed when she heard, crying. This was the warning. The next time, he won't be so lucky. T.I., shaking with rage, confronted King with more fury than ever before. You still think this is a game? You still think this is about respect? They could have killed you tonight. They could have killed your mama's son, my boy, right there in the street. And for what? But King, though visibly shaken, refused to back down completely. I ain't running, he whispered. His voice cracked, but his words still carried defiance. If they want me, they gotta come harder than that. Tiny screamed through tears. Why can't you see you already lost if you keep living like this? Her words echoed through the house, leaving everyone in silence. The media circus only made things worse. Bloggers, podcasters, and gossip channels ran wild with the story. Headlines screamed about King Harris under fire with exaggerated tales of shootouts, ambushes, and betrayals. Some outlets claimed I had hired extra security, while others speculated he was secretly negotiating with street figures to buy his son's safety. And through it all, fans remained glued to every update. This is like a reality show, but with real consequences. One person posted, another wrote, I feel like I'm watching a tragedy unfold in slow motion. As days passed, King's behavior grew erratic. One moment, he was posting inspirational captions about being strong and unbreakable. The next, he was sharing cryptic lines like, if I die, just know I stood on mine. The posts left fans uneasy, with many commenting, he's spiraling. Somebody needs to step in before it's too late. T.I., desperate to protect his son, reportedly tried one last strategy, bringing in someone King deeply respected, a legendary figure from the neighborhood, to sit him down. When the meeting finally happened, it was tense. The Og looked King dead in the eye and said, your daddy can't save you. Your mama's tears can't save you. The only person who can save you is you. Pride is a killer out here, lil man. And right now, pride gone get you buried. For the first time, King stayed silent. No smart remarks, no defiance, just silence. Those close to the situation said he looked torn, caught between the desire to prove himself and the fear clawing at him after the shooting. But before anyone could breathe a sigh of relief, another shocking revelation dropped, a betrayal that no one saw coming. One that made fans' jaws drop and left the Harris family scrambling to make sense of it. The betrayal came from a place King least expected, his own circle. For weeks, everyone assumed the danger came from outsiders, from the hood crews who wanted to test him. But one night, receipts started leaking online that told a different story. Screenshots of private DMs and group chats surfaced, showing one of King's closest friends allegedly feeding information to the very people threatening him. The posts claimed that this so-called friend had been giving out King's whereabouts, plans, even which clubs he planned to show up at. The internet erupted in disbelief. The call was coming from inside the house. One fan tweeted, he got snakes around him and don't even know it. When King saw the screenshots, his world shattered. This was someone he trusted, someone who had been in the car with him, laughing, joking, claiming loyalty. According to insiders, King confronted him directly, shouting, you've been setting me up. You was supposed to be my brother. The friend denied it at first, but eventually, under pressure, admitted he had been passing info for clout. The room fell silent. Everyone realized just how deep the betrayal ran. News of the betrayal spread like wildfire. Fans were stunned, emotions ran high, and once again, the Harris family was left divided. Tiny, heartbroken, said, this is exactly what I was afraid of. Everybody ain't your friend, and now you see it. T.I., on the other hand, was livid. This ain't no friend. This a snake. And you let him too close? The betrayal made King rethink everything. For the first time, he admitted out loud that he wasn't sure who he could trust anymore. Everybody's smiling in my face, he reportedly told his parents, but behind my back, they plotting. It was the first crack in the armor of pride he had worn for so long. The first time he showed doubt about the path he was on. But the streets don't wait for self-reflection. Days after the betrayal came to light, another video surfaced, this one showing members of the rival crew mocking King directly. They held up a fake chain that looked like his, laughing, saying, "We already got him." Whether the chain was real or not didn't matter. The humiliation was enough to ignite a storm of reactions. Fans flooded the comments, some laughing, others outraged, and many begging King not to respond. But King couldn't let it go. He went live yet again, anger dripping from his voice. "Y'all clowns think you can play with me? Nah, it ain't going down like that. Keep my name out your mouth before I show you what time it is." His words sent shockwaves through his fan base. Some said he sounded broken. Others said he sounded ready to explode. At this point, T.I. made a drastic move. Insiders say he threatened to cut King off completely if he didn't calm down. "You keep running your mouth like this, you ain't just risking your life, you risking the whole family. And I can't let you do that." But King, caught between fear, pride, and hurt from the betrayal, lashed out. "You worried about your image, not me," he shouted. "You worried about what the world thinks, not about what I feel." Tiny tried once more to be the glue holding everyone together. She hugged her son, tears streaming, whispering, "We do love you. We scared for you because you are baby. Not because of your daddy's name, not because of fame, because you're ours. And we can't lose you." Her words cracked something inside King. Though he didn't admit it then, the climax came during a family sit-down that turned into an intervention. T.I., Tiny, and even a few trusted family friends gathered in the living room. They played back clips of King's lives, the videos of confrontations, even the sound of gunshots from that night near the studio. "This is what you want your life to look like," T.I. demanded, his voice trembling with anger and fear. "You want to end up a hashtag? You want to be remembered as the boy who couldn't let go of his pride?" For once, King didn't answer back immediately. He stared at the floor, the weight of everything finally pressing down. Fans had been saying it for weeks. His mother had cried it, his father had shouted it. And now he couldn't deny it anymore. He was in over his head. The moment was heavy, but it wasn't the end of the story. Because even as King sat there in silence, the streets were still talking. Threats hadn't disappeared, rumors hadn't stopped. And the betrayal from his own friend left scars that wouldn't fade overnight. The family could only do so much, and King still had choices to make. Fans watching the saga unfold in real time felt torn. Some cheered for redemption, hoping he would finally learn and change. Others feared the worst, convinced the cycle would repeat itself until tragedy struck. "It feels like we're watching a car crash in slow motion," one fan commented. "You want to look away, but you can't." By the end of that week, King posted something unexpected on his Instagram, a black screen with the words, "Sometimes silence is the loudest move." No chains, no flexing, no anger, just silence. Fans didn't know what it meant. Was it growth, or was it the calm before another storm? Inside the Harris household, there was a fragile peace. Tiny prayed it would last. T.I. stayed cautious, knowing the streets don't forgive easily. And King, he sat with the weight of betrayal, threats, and his family's broken hearts, wondering if he could ever balance the life he wanted with the reality of the dangers he faced. The drama had no neat ending, no perfect resolution, just a family holding its breath, a city watching closely, and a young man caught between pride and survival. And everyone was left asking the same haunting question. Would King finally change course? Or was the next headline going to be the one, "No parent after everything that went down"? One thing is clear, this story is far from over. King Harris has been pushed to the edge by pride, betrayal, and the dangerous pull of the streets. While his parents, T.I. and Tiny, are caught between fear and frustration, desperate to save their son before it's too late. Fans are still divided. Some see him as a fearless young man fighting to build his own name, while others see him as a kid spiraling into chaos, refusing to listen to the people who love him most. The emotions ran high, the betrayals cut deep, and the family was left divided in ways nobody could have imagined. But here's the real question. What happens next? Will King finally step back and realize the value of his life, his family, and his future? Or will his pride keep pushing him into the kind of danger that no amount of fame or money can protect him from? The streets have already shown they're watching. The fans can't stop talking. And every move King makes now could be the difference between redemption and tragedy. And that's where we leave it to you. What do you think is really going on here? Is King learning his lesson, or is this only the beginning of something darker? Drop your thoughts in the comments because we want to hear your take on this wild ride. If you've been shocked by the twists, the betrayals, and the raw emotion of this story, make sure to hit that like button to keep the conversation alive. And if you don't want to miss the next chapter of this ongoing drama, subscribe right now and turn on those notifications because you never know what the next headline might bring.